check out coming into us from Tenable, and this is a new release for them. While we're digging into this thing, let us know down in the comments what your EDC is for today. If you're not familiar with Tenable, they are the sister company to Kansept knives, and Kansept is a company, they are kind of a veteran of the knife world. They've been producing knives for quite a while, and they decided to incorporate a second company for a more affordable line, basically, so people could decipher between a more budget knife and a little bit more premium knife. And Tenable is going to be that more budget ended side. And this is the Shard here. And what Tenable has done, instead of trying to come up with a bunch of new models, what they I would say it was an intelligent move on their part. They took a bunch of designs that were already fantastic, that came in a wide range of more premium ended materials as far as the steel and the handle is concerned, and they took those and made them into affordable knives. And with the Shard here, we're going to be looking at 14C28N stainless steel, which these are going to range between $45 and $55. There's a ton of different variations of this knife available, from G10 to aluminum, which we are looking at the gray aluminum here, and it's got this diamond milled pattern done on it. They are flat. The handle's nice and tall. The Shard is a proven design, though. Kim Ning, I don't even have to look. I know Kim Ning designed the Shard. It's a knife that I have really, really liked, and they've kind of went back and revamped this knife a little bit here. We are looking at a deep carry clip. It's going to be reversible, which they knocked out of the park. Good job on that front. Just a clean, subtle clip. We'll look at that here in a moment. We are looking at steel liners and a crossbar lock for the locking mechanism, and we've had a couple from Tenable with a crossbar lock, and they're really solid. They're running that really heavy stonewash finish on the blade, and that's going to be a great user finish. Nice low tip. Call that a drop point. You could call it a modified sheep's foot, whatever your little heart desires. And that feels really good to open this thing up. Got a great deal of retention, so it's going to be nice and satisfying. And then as far as getting to these tabs, they went out of their way to make sure they cone that all the way out, and they protrude a nice amount. Some companies make it so you can barely get to them, or it's kind of a pain to get to them. And Tenable really paid attention to detail here and got that part right. Why don't we go ahead and get a measurement on this and see what we're looking at here. So we'll call it 3 3/8 of cutting edge. We'll call it just shy of 3.5 for total. And then coming down there just shy of 7 7/8. So this is almost a full-size knife, and you could say it is. This is a nice thing to see. I like to see something around 8 or even beyond. And we're going to see here with the Benchmade bug out and the drop bear as a comparison to this knife, you're going to see it's a little bit bigger on both ends. Where those would be very average size, I would say the Vastid Raccoon Bowie here and the full-size Kaiser Militao. These are a little bit above average, but I would still say very on the larger side of average, and that's where the Shard is going to be. It's going to fall right in between the Raccoon Bowie and the Militao. We'll have a look at the pocket clip and see what it looks like in the pocket here. Check retention, and because of that dimpling or that diamond texturing, that's going to hold the knife from really swaying side to side in the pocket, where a smooth scale might, sway back and forth, maybe, right? That's really going to keep that from moving around. And I don't foresee it being a pocket destroyer or anything like that. It's rounded over nicely. It is going to carry pretty deep in the pocket there. You'll have a tiny bit poking out of the pocket, but not much. That's going to look very clean in the pocket and great retention on the way out. Very, very good. We'll go ahead and get some measurements on the handle and blade. This knife is not oversized by any means. I would say this is a good average size. It's got a little bit of heft to it. We're looking at 0.49 for the handle thickness. So I would say, that's on the lower side of average. So very thin. And blade stock, we're talking about 135. And our behind the edge, we'll just check a random spot here just to try to get an idea. Oh, come on. And it's looking like roughly 24 thousandths in that particular spot with that particular hold. But why don't we see how it cuts out of the box? We have our telephone book paper here, and I've cut tons of this types of paper right here. So this is a good media to test this knife on. Let's see what we are looking at. We'll check the weight here in a moment as well. I'm kind of interested to see what this is coming in at. It's got a good edge on it. I'm thinking to myself here, yeah, it's got a really nice edge, and 14C can take a screamer. That's going to be a great blade shape for longer slicing cuts, utility cuts. You got that nice cant to the tip, which is perfect for an index cut. You have nothing interfering in here, so you'll be able to really get up behind that edge and control this entire knife. And if you get into denser material or you need a little bit more control over the knife, you'll be able to get that no problem with this knife. Sharpening choil, I'm not going to say it's bad at all. I'd say it's pretty decent, and you'll get a couple of sharpenings out of this thing yet. Let's go ahead and get the weight on the shard. We'll zoom back out here and see what we're looking at. It's not overly heavy, but for its size, in comparison to, say, the drop bear, that's kind of, the drop bear is kind of what I'm thinking of. They're different knives for sure, but you can see the shard there. It's got something on it pretty decently. I'd say an inch both ways. So it's a good size. Let's see what we're looking at. Let's say 3.4. Damn, I am way off today. That's 3 in a row that have all been right at 4, and I guessed at 3.4, 3.4, and 3.5, and they all came in right here. So I'm about a half ounce off today. 114 grams for everyone else. So here again, for the third time today, this is a nice weight, a good starting weight in my opinion. It gives you a good feeling like you got a substantial tool in your hand, and it's something noticeable in the pocket, but it's not going to be too overwhelmingly heavy or too out of bounds in any direction. So we'll go ahead and check this lock here, and Tenable, Kansept have a great track record here with all their different locks. They have had 100% success rate. Some other companies have as well, but Kansept and Tenable just kind of stick out in my mind. But let's go ahead and we'll check this crossbar lock. The centering is on point. We don't have a detent, so there's not going to be any detent lash, and there's no movement in there around the pivot. As far as lockup goes, nope, there's no up and down, and there's no side to side. Very good. Let's go ahead and see what we got here. We'll put it at an awkward spot. Give it a couple of love taps. Close it, check it. Couple of medium taps there in the middle. Very good. That knife would, if it was going to fail, it would do it there. And if you're doing more than that at any point in time, then you might want to get a pry bar or a fixed blade or something like that. But as far as an EDC knife, I was hoping, just based on the original premium design of the Shard, that this would be a knockout. I also got to throw out there that Kansept and Tenable as well, but Kansept for sure, over the last 6 months, they have a couple of little quirks to work out, like T6 hardware and maybe like one small little tweak, but they have drastically improved over the last year and a half, but it's substantially and it's noticeably different in their quality control as far as the fit and the finish is concerned. They have just been knocking it out of the park these last couple of months. I mean, they've always done well, but you can just see gradual increases in the quality and the internal workings and the attention to detail that I mentioned earlier. Just starting to nail all them little details, and that's what really matters and starts to separate you as a knife company from the people who they have a great knife, but there's a couple of quirks with it. You solve those couple of quirks and you really put yourself ahead of everyone else. I mean, this right here, this knife could easily, even with the aluminum and the 14C, and I'm not saying this is better or worse, but say they give us a milled tie clip or a fold over clip that's titanium. The aluminum and the 14C, I mean, I think these are retailing at like 55 or 60. That's a fantastic deal. And, we could get a clip on here that's titanium and maybe like a titanium backspacer or something to spice it up a little bit more. But I could easily see this being 75, 80 bucks for something like that. Nice steel liners with a bunch of weight relief, comfortable. This is going to be a fantastic knife once people get some eyes on this thing. You'll have to let me know. What do you think of Tenable? What do you think of the new Shard here from them? I love what they're doing, and I think it was a brilliant move on their part. People can experience these more expensive knives in a more budget form, which is fantastic. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people. If you're new to the channel here and you enjoy this type of content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release daily videos just like this. I'll put up a couple of new ones. YouTube is recommending you go check out that one right there, baby. Go check that one out and then go check out another one and then have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. Love you all. Catch you on the next one.